Hello, everybody. Welcome back at Sport Federation TV. It is great to have you with us. And of course, if you have been watching the show today, you'll know we've already taken a look at boxing. We've taken a look at karate. And a few weeks ago, in studio, we had Andy Berglund, one of the joint coaches for the national, or South African national baseball side. There is a string of baseball world championships and World Cups coming up, but of course Western Cape baseball is very strong, and in studio with me now is the head coach for the Western Cape under-12 baseball side, Ian Griebenow. Ian, nice to have you in studio.
JP, thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to come and discuss youth sport and specifically youth baseball. So
have we had you in studio before?
No.
Not in here?
First time, yeah.
So we had Andy Berglund, national coach for the South African side from the Milwaukee Brewers, I believe.
Yes, correct.
He came to tell us a little bit about what's happening with baseball in South Africa. Nice to have international relations.
Yes, I think it's paramount. It's always good to get, obviously, baseball is still growing in our country. And, to get international exposure, specifically international coaches coming in and obviously partaking and giving us knowledge. I think the only way as youth coaches, the more that we learn from people that are more experienced and then seeing baseball develop in various countries. In Andy's case, Andy's got a lot of experience developing in Sweden as well, good models in the US as well, and he's also partaken and given us a lot of knowledge so that we can physically, pass it on to our youth years.
At what age does someone start playing baseball? I mean, how old do you need to be? When do you start?
I think it's never too young to start. We've got a very well-structured Pee-wee league, under-8 league, which works with a soft-touch ball, so there's safety involved there. And most of the clubs start that way. Average age is about 3 to 4, and the athletes start. Obviously, it's
3 to 4.
3 to 4.
3 to 4 years old.
3 to 4 years
so
old.
You've got kids playing baseball at the age of
100%. Playing baseball with a soft touch ball, and obviously it's more organized chaos in the beginning.
Yeah.
But it's a good way to start the passion. The parents are more involved in the game. They actually getting Johnny or Susan down to the field. And the nice thing about Pee-wee baseball is we've got women in baseball involved there as well at that age group. Then we're moving over to under 10s, and there we move into a bit more structured form of the game. So more rules and there's more structure. The kids are getting older, they're starting to understand the game, and then they can represent their district at a national championship. And then from under 12, Western Cape level, you've obviously got provincial colours, and then under 15, provincial colours, under 18, and then under 23, and senior.
At your when we're looking at the youth structures now, of course, you guys have got different structures, like you say. I mean, you're the head coach for the under 12 Western Cape side, but also the national team. What is an under 12 coach? What do you look at? What is it that makes an athlete get into your team? Do you have to hit the ball far? Do you have to be able to run fast? Must you just come to practice?
No, I think obviously practice is very important. I think any athlete has to come to practice. But obviously, to simplify it, in the game of baseball, you must be able to run. So we're looking for someone athletic. We're looking for someone to throw, because there's no position in baseball that you cannot throw. So we tend to try and work on developing arms. Obviously, there's a catching factor as well. And I think the biggest part is explaining to the young athletes that the glove is the extension of the hand. With cricket, we're catching with 2 hands, and we find that that's the hardest part. Hitting the baseball is the most fun. Parents love that, and the kids love that. And obviously understanding the game. So, what are we looking for in a baseball player and athlete? I think in my short 10, 12 years in coaching under 12 baseball, I've discovered that we are getting so many multi-talented athletes, guys that are playing provincial hockey, provincial rugby. So suddenly we are starting to attract athletes. A lot of karate guys, runners, cyclists, swimmers, and it's amazing because the game is developing. We're getting more athletic because it's all about movement. Show me one sport that you don't require lateral movement, forward, backwards movement, and that's what we're trying to encourage in baseball, and that's what we're looking for in athletes.
How much, on average, does an under 12 athlete in the Western Cape side, how much do you guys train?
Well, it will be broken down obviously into club baseball. So in our season, which is over a 6-month period, the athletes would be training 2 to 3 times a week at club level.
Is it predominantly a summer sport?
It is a summer sport.
Yeah.
Obviously, we also share fields, multi-coded fields with soccer clubs, most of us. About 80% of the clubs have to share fields, hence we can only really work in that 6-month period. And then we've got games on Saturdays, and then the next step would be obviously to get the athletes involved into a trial system to get them to go to the next level for Western Cape. Once they're in the Western Cape setup, and we've just finished with our ETSs now.
Tell us for the fans, what is an ETS?
It's an elite training squad where we earmarked 52 players to work 5 days a week. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
52 players?
52 players.
Where does the number 52 come from?
Look, there wasn't a specific number given.
Tell us what's the size of a baseball team. How many athletes? How many do you need? Do you need 10 backline players or 10 forward players?
So in normal squads, we're looking at 18 players.
18?
18
Is that the size of a team?
In a provincial team. When you represent Western Cape, your squads could be anything between 18 to 22 for a provincial setup. We identified more players because we also have got to think of next year's World Cup and
but
next
in
year's
football,
Western
you've got
Cape
11
team.
players on the field.
Correct.
Rugby, you've got 15.
We've got 9. We start with 9.
All right.
9 players make up a team, but obviously we want to get more pitchers, more arms involved in the game. So in an average club team, most teams have between possibly 10, 12, 13 in a club team. Some of them have squads of 15, 16.
But if you play in a competition, you've got to put 2 teams against each other. They must choose 9.
Choose 9.
And spares,
yes, we have to have reserves. We have to have pitchers there. We have to have guys that could probably come in due to injury or anything like that.
Yeah.
Most teams rely on 2 to 3 pitchers because obviously with youth sports, we've also got to look at the safety factor.
Yeah.
So there's, in an average hour and 45-minute game, we could get through 4 innings. However, the pitcher could be struggling today. So he could be throwing 40 to 50 pitches in the first inning. We also work on pitch counts to protect the arm. So hence, a good team or even a club team, and obviously provincial goes a bit further, would need 4 to 5 pitches because it's always safety first. You know, it's not always about winning. It's about ensuring that that child's got longevity in the game. So we need to have bigger squads to ensure that. And I think that's the big thing that we're trying to drive at grassroots level.
Folks, we are speaking to Griebenow, who's the head coach for the Western Cape Under-12 side, as well as the South African national team Under-12 side. They are heading to the World Cup in Taiwan. We'll find out more after the break. Don't go away. Welcome back, everybody. You're watching Sport Federation TV, where we keep talking sport in the province. Sport in the focus at the moment is baseball. Western Cape Baseball recently hosted the national championships here at Boerdersig. Fantastic event. Ian, it was a great event.
Amazing. It was amazing to see so many athletes come together, you know, and just on the field. First of all, after 2 years of non-competition, you know, COVID, we had 2 NBCs postponed. So in essence, this was the first time.
Tell us what's an NBC?
A National Baseball Championship.
National Baseball
Sorry about that.
Oh, no, I love this education. I'm getting taught all about baseball. But let's go back to before the break. You were talking about the players. You were telling us a little bit about safety and protecting the arm and making sure you obviously that's got to do with player management.
Yes, there's a massive drive, specifically in the Western Cape, where we're starting with grassroots development, you know, to get our athletes to elite participation. And obviously there's certain ground rules that have been put forward. So in our league competition, we limit the amount of throws our pitchers can have. And, you know, there are, for example, 40, 50, depends on where we are at the season. At the National Baseball Championships, there were also allocations given to pitchers. So even though the tournament was over 5 days, some pitchers could only throw 1 day and have to rest for 2 days. And if they went over the maximum allocated, they were done for the whole tournament. And that's there just for safety. You know, JP, at the end of the day.
Is that because of things like rotator cuff injuries and ligaments and so on?
Yes, shoulder injuries. And you must also remember that some of our athletes, also, we have to work on the correct throwing mechanisms and mechanics. So, you know, a side-to-side movement for me and you might seem normal, but side-to-side will put more strain. You know, a simple reason is you just take a little 8-year-old kid and you put his hands forward here. Tell him, ask him to hold it there, it's fine. Ask him to pull it backwards a bit, he'll tell you there's a bit of strain here. Yeah. Now we also got to make sure that the athletes don't pull their arms too further back and throw. Right. So there's so many things, you know, we're all involved in as well. You know, I'm at no way as a professional in any of this, but I've been going to, you know, we through the development courses that Western Cape have offered to our coaches, we learn certain things and certain things that we must look out for. Yeah. And the biggest thing for us, and specifically at the National Baseball Championships, was to limit the damage on arms. You know, you've only got one arm, you know, so we need to protect it.
That's an incredible story. I mean, player management down to the body part was fantastic. But I know you're going to take me down the road now on sports related. I want to talk about the competition now. The South African national Under-12 side is heading to Taiwan for the World Championships, the World Cup, Baseball World Cup, the actual Baseball World Cup. This is not your first one.
Look, under 12 competed 2017, 2019.
Yeah.
This is the 2021 version that has been postponed. JP, we are super excited. I think, you know, we've selected a squad of capable athletes all over the country, and I think for the first time we are able to identify players that were not even participating at our current National Baseball Championships through our programs that are in the regions. Limpopo unfortunately couldn't participate in our under 12 division, so one of the athletes participated in under 15 division, and we were able, with our stats and data, we were able to collate that and put that together and invite this player to ETS trainings and involve him in our national team. So, you know, our man management there is very good.
Yeah. I think your first match, Taiwan against Panama?
Panama, very excited, going to be difficult. You know, again, I think we discussed it with our coaching staff yesterday. Again, you know, it's exciting times. It's going to be eye-opener for a lot of the young athletes because we've got 11 and 12-year-olds to be their first time to play international baseball. And then the second game is Italy, you know, and that's something that we've earmarked, you know, that a game that
Who's the best? Who's the best in the world under 12?
I think our hosts are the best currently. They're the current champions, and USA are there. I think we've also got to look at the fact that Venezuela trumped USA, and USA only came in as a wild card at the end.
Yeah.
So, you know, at this age, it's on the day, and also we're playing against fine athletes. We've got a lot of countries that have got some more developed programs and also more acclimatized weather to training. Obviously, with weather in South Africa, we struggle, but that's no excuse. We are so ready. You know, we've been training already nearly on 2 months now. We've got another 4 weeks to go, 3.5 weeks, and we had 5 days a week. And it's all over the regions. We're doing the same thing, and the coaches are so passionate about it, and the parents as well. You know, you've got to remember, parents are carting children around to the venues, and they're just as keen, you know, just to see their children represent their country. And from a coaching perspective, and I speak on behalf of the whole coaching staff, we are so excited. You know.
And when you talk about the whole coaching staff, you're talking about the coaching staff. They're from all over the country.
Yes, we have assistant coaching in Eastern Cape region from Mandela Bay. From Gauteng province, and from Cape Town as well, Western Cape.
Is that difficult to manage?
No, I think technology and COVID has taught us a lot. I think COVID has taught us a lot that a lot of things can be done virtually, and we meet twice a week to discuss players.
Yeah.
Video footage is able. Cell phones has changed a lot. We're able to sort of, you know, have a look at swings, you know, discuss it, and try and make adjustments. Again, we trying our best with the limited resources. In the perfect world, we could just jump on a plane and go to Gauteng and back. But you know, with the sport, the funds aren't really available for that right now.
Yeah.
That's probably a long-term target for us as coaches.
So in terms of your next couple of weeks, I mean, you leave now for Taiwan. You leave in the next, I believe at the end of July?
Yeah, end of July. We just busy finalising the flights because our host nation is requiring us to be over there 3 days prior, and because we've got to be in a bubble system, and our federation will be finalising that in the next couple of days.
So what kind of things are you working on now? I mean, do you fine-tune the pitching? Do you fine-tune the batting or the sprinting? Or?
Well, fitness is key, conditioning is key, because we also go into a very humid climate, and we're also getting our athletes used to an hydration system where they are understanding to drink a lot more water, because it's something that most of the children have never engaged before, you know, and we're just going on previous coaches' information about the climate. And then we're working on a lot of hitting. We physically know that we don't have the same pace. So our pitchers don't have the same paces of the countries we're facing, hence our batters don't face that pace. But we've got a couple of tricks up our sleeve that we've been working on, and we've been spending a lot of time. You know, we've asked, you know, a lot of resources from some of our national team coaches. They've been our senior coaches have been very involved as well to give us some help. And one thing I must say, every coach from every region in South Africa, from juniors to seniors, have given us a lot of assistance, and that's what makes it much easier.
South Africa going to any international competition is a big thing. You know, we'll once again have the South African flag on display in front of hundreds of countries on multiple TV channels. We know that that's going to happen. Of course, there'll be digital media and so on. Is there a sense at the moment from you guys and the team? I mean, I see you wearing the South African baseball kit, obviously with pride.
Massive pride, JP. you know, we are going to the Under 12 World Cup is the biggest televised WBSC event. Now, World Baseball WBSC has baseball and softball. They host all the tournaments. Our Under 12 is the biggest tournament in the world, the most televised tournament in the world.
And the Classic was broadcast in more than 170 nations.
100%. We are currently the biggest junior tournament.
Wow.
The media coverage, the exposure, the fun, you know, the mascot is out. They're going to send, we're going to get the opportunity to show our athletes the mascot that they're going to get. We're going to a country that currency has their national baseball team on because they're world champions. Their own currency. The passion of our hosts is through the roof. They are so excited to have a team from Africa. And, you know, I think we've discussed this on another occasion. We are so proud because we're not just representing South Africa, we represent Africa. You know, we are Africa's sole representative. And the pride, you know, I'm beaming from pride, but so are my athletes. We are ready beyond, you know, there's nothing more we can do. It's just carry on. And the support we're getting from our provincial federations and our national federation is fantastic, you know, and everyone's behind us. So we're super excited.
Yeah, and it's incredible listening to you. Fantastic conversation. You can see you guys are brimming with pride. This certainly can't be our last chat before you guys go. But thanks for joining us, and yeah, good luck with the preparation.
JP, thank you. Thank you for just, you know, just giving us the time and giving us exposure about our team. And from the Under 12 national team, we want to thank you for giving us this opportunity. Thank you.
Folks, Ian Griebenow here with us in studio, head coach for the South African national side, Under 12 side. And keep following baseball, all right? I mean, what you just heard here was exactly what I was referring to early on, this sort of hidden secret. And to go play in a world championships where the sport or the team that you're competing against is in fact even on the money where you're playing, quite incredible. But look out for more information from our South African Under 12 baseball side. We'll keep following baseball progress here on Sport Federation TV. In the meantime, we will say to you now, good night, and remember, stay safe out there, and good luck to all our sports structures. Masks are off, play some sport, get back on the field. We'll see you again next week, same time, same place. A fantastic sporting weekend. Bye-bye.